My journey with family advocacy started when I needed help myself for my own children and found that families who were going through similar circumstances were invaluable sources of not only information but support that I couldn't find anywhere else. And so I began to volunteer with my local Learning Disabilities Association, and that moved me into broader systems reform work when I saw that just that one organization couldn't change everything. We were particularly interested in bringing the family voice to the table in Pennsylvania because nobody had ever done it before. And not only had nobody ever done it in Pennsylvania, nobody had ever done it across the nation. So when we started meeting as a committee to write policies and determine how we could best involve families better and bring about effective family involvement, we cast a wide net and looked for research and found that there were many papers saying this ought to be done, but there was very little work about how to do that. And so we committed to actually develop a body of work around tools and information so that we could actually bring about real change that was measurable. The first thing that we did as a committee, and by the way, the committee was made up very importantly of leaders in juvenile justice, but also leaders in family advocacy from across Pennsylvania. So folks that were really invested and experienced in making system change, and it began with a dialogue between us about how it felt as families to try to confront a system where they didn't feel welcome, and how they felt as juvenile justice professionals about how to engage families that felt like they were difficult to engage. And so out of that discussion, we determined that we really needed to get something written down in paper to extend the dialogue outside of our small committee. And through that process, we were able, with funding from MacArthur, to develop and publish a monograph that also included over 200 participants in focus groups across Pennsylvania, including defenders and families and youth and judges and practitioners. So we really had a broad-based outreach to people and dialogue which we were able to determine had a lot of consensus, and that's what's in our monograph is the results of that discussion.